Page 36, Entry of the Gladiators. At the top of the page they talk about a form called binary form. We've had ternary form, which is 3 ABA. Binary is 2, so it's just AB. Pretty simple. And they label the sections here. You always start with section A, so that's it. And then over on page 37 in the second line you see section B. It's simply a different melody, because at section A the melody is that. And on section B the melody is this. It's a different melody, is a different section. You get the idea. What they didn't do is put in the double bars between the sections, because typically they could have, at the end of the first line on page 37, they could have put a double bar there to indicate the section end. Now, let's talk about this piece. Now, common time, no sharps or flats, but there's all kinds of accidentals because we've got chromatic passages going on. So let's just talk about the right hand first. Watch this fingering carefully. You're up here, and then A sharp, and it's still an A sharp. That sharp goes for the rest of the measure. And now it's an A natural. Otherwise it would be an A sharp still. And then an A flat. Watch this, see the fingering for chromatic? You could use third finger on the F sharp too, but second's fine. And then fourth again. Crunch up, little finger on the G, and then reach down and second finger on the C sharp. It's just easier than trying to use thumb like that. If you have really, really small hands, you almost have to. But I would recommend second finger on the C sharp. The fingering in the book is what I'm after. I'll get there. Give me a minute. And now we have this chromatic passage going up. But when you get to the A, rather than thumb, go ahead and use their fingering, the third finger. That's where I say we adjust the fingering on these chromatic passages as we need to for the piece. So it's here. It's just a standard chromatic and then up here. And you do all that mess again. Let's go to the top of page 37. You're here. I recommend second finger on the first E flat. In fact, you can use second finger on all of them. There, I don't care for the thumb on that note is all. You can use thumb if you want to, but I prefer second finger. And then thumb is just underneath. And I do 3-2. A lot of pieces in these first level books will do a 1-2-1-2-1-2 type fingering, and I don't care for that if I don't have to do it. Sometimes you have to do it. Here you don't have to do a 1-2-1. It's the last 3 notes on the first line there on page 37. So I do I do a 3 here. Cross over with third finger instead of second, and then end on second. Then in the next line you have the chords. C chord, and 2 measures later G7 chord. That's it. Go down to the 4th line down. 3rd measure over. It's a D sharp A. 2-5 there. And then the last line, you're up here. And then here, and then 1-4. And then a C major scale going down. If you can play the C major scale, this is easy. If you can't, you'll struggle with this. Hint, hint. Go do the C major scale. For those last chords, I recommend 2-5, not 1-5, because you just played this. All you got to do is reach out to the octave. You're in this position. You're not using the G is all. Here. So that's what I recommend. If you have real small hands and that's not working for you, then just do it on the first one here, and then and then you get the idea. Left hand here. Rest, rest. Ain't this fun? And you're doing that in the top of page 37. You hit 4-2, F sharp, now C sharp, and then hand gets the melody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. It's just a standard chromatic fingering here. See? And then up here, you have a 1 beat rest you can move up. Now watch this fingering, 3rd line down, 2nd measure. 3, 1. And then a thumb. That's fine. It's just a way of changing hand positions, and we play everything legato. 4th line down. It's like a C major scale now. 3rd finger on that F sharp, so you can come up here. The 3rd finger again, and then you have an E. That's the last line. E. And they sang a 1 again. I disagree. On the G, use 2. Again, we're in this extended position. So we're just keep leaving. You don't have to move the hand around so much. I don't like moving my hand around if I don't have to. So it's here, and then a 2, and then a 5. And now you can do a 5-1 if you want. Wrist action there. Then put the hands together. Slowly. That's still an A flat, because that first A flat, that flat goes for the measure. Again, 3rd measure. Challenge is to make that eventually where there's no hesitations or anything. It just the beat is steady all the way. Let's go over to page 37, 2nd line, where the left hand gets the melody. It's its own challenges, but again, the beat has to be steady. So go as slow as you gotta go to get the idea of both hands working together. And once you have that, you can go back and add the articulation. I'm going to recommend a nice light wrist staccato on this, on both. Now here, you've got the staccato in the left hand, but not in the right. Can you do that? See, again, it's staccato here, but not here. I tend to want to do both the same thing in both hands. So if I'm playing legato on the right hand, I hang on to the left hand. The left hand just needs to be a short staccato. You got to work all that out. Let's go to the 2nd line where that chromatic passage is. The last 2 measures, you're here. Staccato. Gets legato and the right hand gets staccato. Rest. Rest. You get the idea? The last line at the bottom, look out. Once you have an idea of how that, and you can sort of do that, go ahead and see if you can add the dynamics. It's loud. That's the melody. Here. Keep this left hand a little lighter. How fast you go here is not important. What we're after now is we're putting it all together slowly. And the beat is steady. Use metronome if you have to keep the beat steady, nice and slow. Don't rush this. And as you get to the second line, you have that crescendo. Well, don't start the crescendo loud. Come down, because you've been loud all this time. Come down to about a medium soft, and then go back up to loud. Don't get loud until you play that A. Those quarter notes. So take your time getting loud. You may have to experiment, because that takes you back to loud. Then when you get to page 37 at the end of the first line, now you're coming down. Doesn't say how much. I'd come all the way down to about a medium soft here. You're here. And you're doing this in the left. The right hand, you can't do anything. It does its thing, but it's dying away. So here. Now you're going to be sort of loud. The left hand. The right hand needs to be soft. And you're going to stay about in that area. You can get a little louder and softer eventually, but stay there. And then on the fourth line down, you're going to start crescendoing. Well, you're not crescendoing very much. So just... See, I would crescendo until the third measure, really. It's a little louder. Now you're loud at the last. So don't get loud until the last line. And you're going to stay loud. And then it's a fortissimo for the last beat. It's a bum, bum, bum. And it's accented. I don't know why they accent on fortissimos, because that just makes it really super duper loud. So just fortissimos here and staccatos. Keep it slow. And then as time goes on and you get comfortable with it, you can speed it up. It's a march. It's not fast. It's a march. Get the idea? And then for the section B, so I wouldn't take it any faster than that. But it's got to be steady. As time goes on and you get to know it well enough that you're not thinking so much about the fingers and all that junk, you can start feeling the music, and that's really where the dynamics come in. That's where you can start feeling this, because you're not going to play it at one level all the time. At the beginning, loud is fine. I tend to want to come down there, and then I'll back up. It bounces along very nicely. Let's play this together really, really, really super slow, just to double check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do the dynamics. I will do the staccatos and all that, but no dynamics. Now I'll give us 4 counts. Let's try it out. 1, 2, ready and go, and 1 and 2 and 3. Four.